Greetings, good people. Greetings from your damn bruh. On today's topic, um, it's rather a discussion that is much rather subjective, and there's no um, assured opinion of it. It depends on fragrance, I would say, and the question that is often, you know, um, poured out or brought forth is, rather how many sprays should one apply when applying a fragrance? And an answer to that question, as I've said, it is, not just a simple answer at hand, but it is rather subjective. And so today we are just going to cover that subject on how I see it. And, without any waste of time, let me just go at it. It is not an opinion that you would base on all fragrances, and and on just one fragrance that you know of. I think it requires a person that has explored various profiles and various concentrations of fragrance. That is a whole nother subject. When discussing concentrations, for it may be a bit confusing. It's not always the EDT that performs better, it's not always the parfum that performs better. You might find that sometimes the parfum is linear and the colonia is has more of a scent bubble in that regard, or the EDT is the most projecting oftentimes, and the EDP is the best performing at times. And so it's a broad subject, but today I would say that topic is based on rather the profiling. Lighter fragrances are often citrus based fragrances, darker fragrances are often tobacco and vanilla sweet kind of fragrances. So it differs in that regard. And so I'll kick things off with a freshie, a rather lighter freshie, even though it's quite amazing in performance. Versace Poem. Oh, my cap. Versace Poem. This fragrance, I would say, when the first time you are to purchase a fragrance, just spray on your right there on your arm, right above your wrists, right here on your arm. Just do a single spray and then tap it. Tap it like this. Do not rub it on, just tap it and let the fragrance settle and let it get to the dry down. And so the kind of scent. And so you study the scent on how much you'd want to apply the fragrance. And also, I think when it comes to how much one would apply fragrance, it depends on the occasion. Like you would wear this on like an event or a party or a race, but then or a run, or as I often like the annual runs I do often, you know um annual marathons, like it's a small marathon that occurs here, or whether you're going to a gym because this is a gym scent, depending on your session. If you are more outdoors and because fragrances in their nature are quite occasional, you have to kind of know the occasion that you're dealing with. And so with that, on that, regarding what I just said, you after your spray, you have applied your fragrance, you kind of know, without even reading the concentration, you kind of know the scent. I can hear it projecting, you know and as I stay with it for some time, I could determine that okay, it projects 2 hours and then it has a scent trail, or it projects more hours, as other fragrances another fragrance I will discuss you know shortly. But yeah, with Poem, uh you can go crazy with this. I doubt you would offend anyone, but I find the more I apply it, the more I enjoy it when I have applied more sprays, or when I have oversprayed this particular fragrance. And so I would do maybe again another two sprays. And what I like to do, again, my favorite place to spray fragrance, okay, let me start off by saying behind your ears, right there on the neck. That's a convenient, way to apply fragrance, because it is not so much on your nose as you would start off with your chest. But since this is non-offensive, you can apply it however. But I like to put it behind the ears, and of course on my pulse point, and here on my collarbone. But where I like to apply fragrance, I would do two sprays right on this uh, spot here, like on my shoulder. I would do two, two, two each on each side, and two on the back. If I want to project more, I'll just do four on each side and just overspray it and just go crazy, and if I'm going to an event where there's a lot of people and I feel like wearing this, I'll do those four, however, eight sprays, and then I just spray it around, and I just keep on doing uh probably about three sprays behind my back, and I just go crazy and bathe with this because it is an unoffensive fragrance. But however, I cannot do it with Gucci Intense Oud. I'd rather not do that because it is a strong fragrance. Like I said, apply it when you unbox it, apply it on your arm, and tap it. And then after you have tapped it, you know what kind of fragrance it is, and so you know that it is strong and projecting. You might even go outside to test it, how it is. And I would probably do one spray on each arm, then do one spray on each shoulder, and do two sprays on one each sprays on the sides of my neck or right behind my ears. And so that, because this is a Bismo fragrance and I intend to be heard, um, I pretty much, do that. And I guarantee you, you don't need any more sprays than that. Actually, that is overspraying this fragrance. You don't need any more sprays of that. It will project nicely, especially in winter. This fragrance in winter is so beautiful, it's so amazing, especially the original. This one is just so amazing in those colder months. And then I'd like to speak of this fragrance, Giorgio Armani um, Profumo. This is a fresh fragrance, but it has depth. This is a freshie, like this one I showed at first. I may say they share somewhat of the same profile, but this one is much more deeper. It has incense, it has, yes, it has a bit of darkness. So it's a bit of a combination of both of these, because these also has incense, and so it's like they put these together, and so this has more strength than these in terms of richness. So you also need to be careful with these um darker or mid, or balanced profiles that are regarded as all year rounders, and do as much sprays as the Gucci, or maybe you might, yes, do as much sprays as the Gucci, depending on the occasion. If you are going well at an event that is much open, I don't prefer this going to like the gym and stuff. I think it's more of the event you would wear the Gucci, because it is more, yeah, it's richer. And so be careful of this, and such fragrances. And do I do, my shoulders, that's my favorite place, because it's open. It can have that centrate because it's open, and when I do movement, it is right there, it moves. If it has to create that scent bubble, it will create that scent bubble around me. And You can do those 4 sprays, two two sprays on each side of the neck or behind your ears, and then just go crazy on your chest or your midsection, but not more than that, not more than that, because then it will be overdone, because this stuff is quite strong, and that's if you want to project, you want it to be more present. But when you go into an intimate place, maybe a dinner, maybe a small gathering, just do those parts where you don't just go crazy and leave this area. But like I said, explore your fragrance, put it there in your arm and let it settle, and study your fragrance, because I don't think it's an objective subject that we could just say a fragrance you just need 3 to 4 sprays, because fragrances differ and occasions where you'd want to wear the fragrance differ. And of course, when you wear fragrance, you want to be heard, but sometimes you need you as the person wearing it to notice it, to hear it. And so when it disappears, it's on you, then it's that is kind of you go nose blind to a fragrance. That is also what we need to understand. You go nose blind to a fragrance, especially those that perform well, like for instance the profumo, because it's a perfume, it's not strong, coming strong off the skin or off the place that you have applied it. It's linear there, and then it leaves this huge scent trail uh, behind you. I wore this once, and I was in like a room, and the person that approached the room just said, there's a fragrance that smells that has filled this place, and I can hear it. And we sort of made like a joke about it. But that is when I actually noticed that the performance is there. Otherwise, if you had told me that that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have noticed, because at that moment it was probably 3 hours after I've applied it, and I didn't hear it. I went nose blind to it. And so people hear your fragrance even when you least expect them to, And so, yeah, that is rather subjective. Study your fragrance, uh, understand the profiling. When it's a freshie, you can apply more. When it's a freshie and it's not as loud, you can also apply more. But if you see it that it has depth, study it and measure it yourself, But doing like 30 sprays above, that is just crazy, So that's it from me, your damn bruh. Study your fragrance. Peace.